everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, hi, we're Toby and Abbie and we've taken on this mission to make our Mercedes Vario into our dream home on wheels. If you missed the last episode, we installed our gas tank, our water tank and our floor. And this is what we've been up to over the past couple of weeks. We started by cutting two major holes in the bus, one for our IMAS boiler and one for our max air fan, but we'll explain a bit more about those once we get around to fitting them.
Right, installation day. Right, so yesterday we managed to get a lot of the insulation into the walls. What we've done is we've got 50mm in the top and we've got like 25mm in these gaps. The plan is we're going to fill the rest of this in with 25mm and that gap there and little gaps down here. We're going to use as much tape as we possibly can and then thermowrap it, so that's our like vapor barrier, and then yeah, we're all good to go. I was just gonna carry on taping till we can't tape no more.
So we've almost finished with the installation. We've got that side, well, completely done. We just need to thermowrap it and then we're now working on this side.
What we've done is we weren't actually going to batten the walls, but we've decided we will because we're going to be ply lining these with some 12mm ply. So we need something to secure it against. What we did is we put some bits of timber like this first, which went into little ribs here. With self-drilling tapping screws, which are brilliant. And we use some of our floor timber to just go on top, and we just stripped it down a little bit with the table saw, just so it sits flush each side. So when we put our ply on, we can screw all down the side there, and we've also got a point to screw it up to up here. So, got a bit of a plan. So, the plan is that we've insulated the walls with 50mm and 25mm insulation. You could use that as a vapor barrier if you wanted to. We've decided we're going to use something called thermowrap, which is a whole wrap that goes round and it's really kind of durable and you can't rip it or tear it.
The one big seal.
It's one big seal, yeah. So we'll use that all the way round as soon as we start battening out our floor. So we're going to batten out the floor and then we'll lay our insulation, then the vapor barrier around the whole van in between the windows. And then we'll put our ply walls and ply flooring down and probably get our ceiling up at the same time.
This is the recycled plastic insulation that we've been jamming in the holes of the ribs. We'll actually use it as well to jam in these holes in these ribs.
It's much better because if you use like loft insulation, it sucks up the water and acts as a sponge, but this stuff is like plastic based, so it can't the water. Right, it's time to start some battening. So we're just going to focus on around this wheel arch at the moment. 25mm timber battens. So what we're going to do, we're going to notch out a little bit on the bottom here so it fits flush with the floor. And then we're going to pre-drill some holes which have little routing pieces on the end so we can sit the drills into the wood. And then we will drill them in and we'll stick them as well.
With Uncle Ian, whose full title is electrician / project manager, it felt like we blinked and the floor was battened out. We had a great system going where Uncle Ian was cutting, Toby was measuring, and I was running the pieces between. We decided to ply line our walls and floor so we would have as flat a surface as possible to build on. So yesterday / the day before, we and Uncle Ian managed to batten out the whole floor, and then we've got all the walls insulated as well. And today we're going to work on battening out the roof and also doing like a few little annoying jobs like trying to get the weld marks off the windows because we stupidly didn't cover them when we were grinding the whole chassis down, so now they've got like little bits on. But we're going to work on those bits today. Do you have anything else to say? You nearly fell off the ladder.
Yeah, nearly stacked it.
We noticed in not covering our windows when we were grinding the chassis, we were left with some pretty bad grind spatter damage. So here's how we removed them. We first used a Stanley blade to gently but thoroughly go over all of the marks. Then we rubbed in compound paste until it had nearly all gone. Then we went over with the blade again to check we haven't missed any stubborn marks, and then finally polished it. You can still see some of the marks if you look really closely, but to the touch the windows are now completely smooth. So to give a little update, I've just scraped and polished these 3 windows, and Tobes made a start on battening out the roof.
So basically, we've got chunks of wood, but our roof cambers a little bit, which is like a little kind of slope. So we're going to try and match that. So when we put our ceiling panels up, we don't want to screw them into the metal because it's going to be too kind of intense. So we want to be able to screw them into wood so we can just tweak them to the right heights. So we're just popping them in now. I've cut little slits in the wood like this. So we can see, yeah, like that all the way across, which means that the wood will it will flex. It will it means like the wood will flex like that. So we can kind of match the camber of the roof.
Yeah, the bend in the roof.
So what we're doing now is we're just getting the clamps on. What we're trying to do is get the wood just dropping over the metal about 1 millimetre. So when we fix the ceiling panels to the roof, it will never touch the metal. We're going to cover them up with insulation tape anyway, aren't we? But it's just a nice little gap.
Nice little touch.
A nice little touch. So yeah. Just put it on that bolt.
This one?
Left bolt. The left bolt. You know, the left one.
Yeah, but there's lots of them, so how am I supposed to know this was just the left one?
Well, there's 4 bolts.
You should have said the furthest left.
That'd be the left one, wouldn't it?
Go on then. Oh, that's not really on the bolt, is it?
Well, which bolt was that?
Yours, you taped it down, Sam.
Shut up. Right, we set up some washing lines. Now, so what we've done, good back. And so we've battened up one this side and one this side. Oops. One this side, and we've put some string in between, so it should leave us with an even gap, which it does. It's just off there on each one, like that. So we know if the wood on these ones all touches the bottom of that string, we know it's level all the way across. As one falls off. So now our wood is cut down a little bit. You can see what I've taken off. About 120 mil, something like that. We can carry on cutting into these sections. So over here. All we need to do is take the corners off because the roof goes kind of down at quite a steep angle. We've got square edges on the end of these. So we've just made these little chucks off an old bit of wood. Put them in there like that. And then we'll jig that off on each side. Now, what we have to do is put them in, line them up against the string, like we have done on that one. That's our original. Just put that one in as well. Like this. And then yeah, we're good. Right. It's 7:30 in the morning. Thought we'd get an early start in today because it's such a nice day. So, we finished up this battening on the corner. So basically what we're going to have is, on this side, we're going to have overhead storage going all the way across. We're quite lucky that we've got these rivets already in here, which I think are like M8 bolts. So when we put our overhead storage in, all we've got to do is just bolt it in. That will hold it that way. And then we're going to screw in the top of these battens, kind of hold it in. So I've brought them all level, all the way down on each side, so the top of the storage will be level. So what we're going to finish up today is just getting some big bits of insulation in, like this one here. Right, we just measured a couple of the big bits in the roof to get our insulation. We're using 50mm Celotex, which is here. So we're just going to measure it up and stick it in. Using these insulation hangers, I think they're 60mm. But they've got adhesive sticky backs. So basically you just stick them to the roof and then stick your insulation through the spikes, and then you just bend off the spikes. And sorry, in between that, you put one of these on, which is like a little, don't know, little thing. Yeah, let's go. What are you doing, Abs?
Cutting slits in the insulation board so that it bends the roof.
Yeah. If you didn't hear that, she is she, Cat's mother, is cutting some slits in the insulation board so it just bends around the camber of the roof if it needs to. Which we found when we put this one in, it laid too flat so the middle section didn't go in. So as you can see now, it kind of's got a nice little curve to it. So we're just putting this one in. Actually, yeah, while I'm here, I'll show you. So these are the hangers that go up. We put them on the high bits of the roof, the low bits of the roof maybe, actually. So they stick for a little bit longer because they're a little bit short. So yeah, let's put it in.
Give them a little snip snip.
Squeeze in. Yeah, it's 7:30, early morning start today because we want to get started in the bus. I've got my theory this afternoon, the second one, but that'll be fine. So yeah, today what we're going to do, we're going to go to Smith Brothers now, which is like a timber merchant, and we need to get some of our roofing, and we also need some more silicone because we're going to silicone the floor. Oh yeah, and I've got my second theory later for the bus licence, so hopefully that goes well. I've done a bit of revision this time, so it should do. But yeah. Right, we're just building the box that goes around the underneath of the max air fan, so we can screw it. And we've got a little trick to show you. So when you want to build a box and you don't have one of those corner things where you can tighten up and get your corners right, get a bit of tape. Just tape the back of one of your corners like that. Get your other bit that you're putting in and line it up with the other side. Leave a small gap if you want. If it doesn't line up perfectly, just make sure it's nice and down, and that holds your angle in place. Just like that. So now you can screw in.
Yeah. Clever. Okay, so a little update from us, because some people are probably wondering why we've got the whole floor in without any insulation underneath, and we've also got the walls up with no vapour barrier. It's because we've got a bit of a deadline to be done in the next few months, and we realised we wouldn't be able to do that unless we got some help. So the bus is leaving for a couple of weeks to get refabricated and sprayed, and we've got the walls and the floors in because we're going to take 101 measurements so that we can build the cabinets and the unitary and the cupboards while it's gone, so when it comes back we can just put everything
throw them in and attach them down.
So yeah, that's the plan. It's heading off in a couple of days and we're super excited for it to already come back.
Yeah. The fabrication, we would have loved to do it by ourselves. We probably would have done, and it would have saved us a ton of money. But we started grinding down the outside of the bus, and the bottom kind of 2 or 3 inches was just pure filler. It'd been shaped really nicely so you couldn't really see it, but as soon as you got under the filler, it was just falling apart with rust. So we thought if we're going to have it sprayed or spray it ourselves and paint it, we might as well do it properly. And get it done professionally. So it should add a bit of value to our bus as well. Not that we want to sell it, but when we do ever decide to sell it.
So yeah, so the next couple of weeks will be videos of us just building the units, the cupboards, the kitchen.
Overhead storage, kitchen unit. Well, that's pretty much it, to be honest. I think that'll probably take us 2 weeks. We've got all our appliances coming, don't we?
Yeah, and then we'll have a bus ready to go and we can just build out the inside.
So yeah.
See you next week.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
Maybe go over. Loves me.
Should I be wearing them off? Go now, Liz with us. We're using insulation pins. I guess they fill.
You should have probably said thanks for watching. And thanks for watching.